These guys really didn't have skill like that. Only Jordan.
Yeah, not like that. See, there's the key word.
To Jordan.
Not like that. Jordan is level 10. It's like a car, dog. All Jordan's competition in that era did not even have the physical tools to keep up with him. So he was.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode. So Anthony Edwards has upset an entire generation of basketball stars. The 23-year-old Timberwolves star ruffled feathers when he said Michael Jordan was the only player with skill during his heyday. That's between 1984 and 1996. Magic Johnson already ripped Edwards in response, saying he doesn't recognize comments from players who haven't won a championship. Now the greatest player in Timberwolves history, Kevin Garnett, is chiming in and doing so with respect. He said, "You gotta know what you're talking about to be in an argument or be in the discussion of what we are talking about. I root for you, young fella, but know what you're talking about, young fella, because what you say doesn't make no sense." So that's how Garnett respectfully ended his rant. It began with the Hall of Famer saying most players in the modern game couldn't handle playing in the NBA 20 to 25 years ago.
These guys really didn't have skill like that. Only Jordan.
Yeah, not like that. See, there's the key word.
To Jordan.
Not like that. Jordan is level 10. It's like a car, dog. All Jordan's competition in that era did not even have the physical tools to keep up with him. So he was basically a Bugatti, and everybody else was a Honda, Civic, and most people, everybody, all the shooting guards were 6'4" and under. They didn't have no jumping ability, right? So who he went against, he's saying they wasn't talented, meaning they wasn't athletic to keep up with him. Today, everybody, I got a 40-something. Everybody I'm going against has a 40-inch vertical that can jump with me.
So he's saying like nobody was a Bugatti like Mike. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is a Bugatti's only good when it's going this way, and it's going fast. It's one-dimensional. It looks good and it goes fast. You know what this Honda can do? I can park and I can get the fuck out of here. I can actually hit the motherfucking curb, bounce off that bitch, and keep on riding. You know what you're gonna do when you hit something with that Bugatti? You're gonna stop, you're gonna call the motherfucker, I hit something with my Bugatti. I hit my Bugatti.
But that Bugatti
it's gonna go 0 to 60, it's gonna go fast, right? Woo! But if I gotta turn, it's the wrong car.
But that didn't happen.
The wrong car.
But that didn't happen, Mike.
That's the point. One track. We're talking offense only. We're talking speed. We're talking talent.
That's what he's talking. That don't change the context to make a difference.
Michael Jordan was the defensive player of the year.
The first sentence of the thing said, tough in this era. They said, I didn't watch back then, so I can't speak on it. They say it was tougher back then than it is now. Now, he references skill because they're questioning whether it was tougher or not, and whether you niggas can come play when we was playing. He's saying, well, yeah, of course we could, because Mike was the only real...
He was the only one that
He was the only one that was skilled like we are.
Anthony Edwards just said the other day that there really wasn't any skilled players in the NBA back in the day outside of Michael Jordan. That's what he said. Your response to that, Irvin Magic?
Well, I don't never respond to a guy that's never won a championship. There's not nothing to really say. He didn't win a college championship. I don't know if he even won a high school championship. So
he talking about the 90s. Because we the Kobe era.
He also prefaced by saying he didn't watch back then, and he's also 23 years old. So, we got to take that into account.
Man. I mean, this is one of the most skilled players to ever play the game. I mean, I think that was directed more toward the Jordan era. Because when I hear that and I really start thinking about it, I'm like, nah, that's not true, because you have multiple players who had hella skill. I'm talking about, come on now, that's pretty much doing the same things they's doing now. We had the guards who was going up doing the stuff that we see D-Rose and Ja Morant doing. I mean, I seen Baron Davis, Steve Francis, and Kevin Johnson doing all that type of stuff. I will say this, the skill level has gotten better with this generation, but I don't think overall it makes you a better player. I think the imagination and the flair of the game is not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't play as much basketball as we did. They work out individually. We played 5-on-5, and our creativity for the game was a lot better in our era. Because, like, who's a showman? Who would you consider, like, a showman of today? Like, Kyrie maybe with the dribbles.
Yeah, and Ja.
High-flying Ja.
I mean, when you say Kyrie, there was Rod Strickland.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, think about the creativity.
You never seen Vince Carter? I'm like,
exactly. Like Vince Carter, we never seen nothing like that. That was something different. I mean, Magic Johnson, white chocolate. I mean, we don't see people pass the way J. Kidd did. Like, it's like unreal. Like, we don't see that type of creativity no more, you know?
So my question to you is, when you see youngsters go, man, I didn't watch, so I don't, is it important for youngsters
it's gonna go back to what, we gotta go back to Ticket's famous saying to me, you ain't watching the games, Lord. You ain't watching the games, Lord. You ain't going back watching the games, Lord.
If I'm being honest, bro, I don't think anybody in this generation could have played like 20 years ago. If I'm being 100, and this is to everybody in our league, Tatum, all y'all. Let me tell y'all something, bro. 20 years ago, bro, you couldn't get to a triple step back.
No.
You hear what I'm saying to you? You couldn't get to a triple step back, and then if you shot that shit, it had to go in. You know why? Because we had efficiency back in the day, my dude, and it was so fucking hard. It was too physical. And guess what? The league had to come off of it for the flow of movement to be able to have scoring go up, which is why we like to sit here and watch kind of the rat race of the high-paced game, right? But, bro, let's not talk about the gamemanship, and let's not talk about the physicality of the game back then. Real shit, because I only think half these kids in the league could have been on an NBA team 20 years ago.
Straight up.
The locker room was too grown.
You know what I watched too? You know what I watched?
It was two of them. It was too much of a fraternity. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man.
Just
like
the hand check.
No, bro. It was a different vibration. David Stern did a great job of taking all of the physicality out of the game. You understand? Freedom of movement means freedom of movement. Man, back in the day when you had to get by Paul because Paul was squared up with you and ready to slide, and then he could body you, he could poke, he could use his hands, but I can use my hands.
I can fight through a screen.
Bro, the shit that we saw in the Olympics was similar style play when the guard can ride you damn near over the pick.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to get out of that, and a nigga like Holiday, when he come out and he get over, he there. Right. So if you go to cross him, bro, you don't even. That's what I'm saying, bro. Man, the levels in which you had to be not only strong enough, but skilled enough to get by this nigga in front of you. You understand? And then they ain't never seen a 6'7" Rodman guard you. Bro, I see you. And you know, you in the scout report. We know you go left. We know you can finish right, but you go left to pull up. Bro, everybody knows. Bro, niggas watching the games back then. The Isaiah Thomases and the Dumars, man. Dumars shut Jordan down. Bro, they was coming to the lane, bro. You might get your nose broke trying to dunk. You understand? Dwayne Wade broke Cole's nose in the All-Star game. Man, bro, it's just different. It was very different back then, bro. Real shit. I'm talking about in the locker room. You can't be on your phone in the locker room. Can't. Bro, 20 years ago? Nah, nobody in this era could have played 25 years ago. We said that. And I'm talking about not just the play and all the skill that everybody got, actually was called bad shots and lack of efficiency. It was until they start fucking with all the data and saying take more threes than twos. Before then, we played ball, bro. We didn't give a fuck about all that other shit. And the GM couldn't come down and say, put into a game plan with a coach like Doc or D'Antoni talking about, we trying to get touches and touch the paint. Bro, I didn't see.
Yeah, it's hard to say more skill.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Nobody in this era has a mid-range.
Bro, you couldn't get, nobody.
Nobody in this era has a post game.
And the ones that do look amazing. Look at Shea. Shea got a mid-range.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's only like a few of them got.
That's what I'm saying, bro. 2 dribble, pull up.
Yeah, they don't
try to do it. Okay, young fella, if you hear me. And then y'all exhaust the ball. Y'all are dribbling the air out of the ball.
Right.
Y'all dribble the ball 100 times more than another nigga.
Right.
Catch it off the bounce. 1 dribble, 2 dribble, pull up. Let me see you do that off the bounce.
Right.
Let me see your skill work off that. I ain't even known it like this, but bro, you can't come from niggas and not expect a rebuttal on shit. Bro, real shit, it was totally different. And you had to have that work, and you had to really work on your shit. And it wasn't no, you was out 2-3 games, man. Your teammates, hey bro, what you doing tonight? You going? Nah, I can't go, man. My toenail off, man. I can't. Nah, bro, you can't even come in here and lead no niggas like that. You hear me?
Nah.
So you had to strap it up, and you had to get out here. You had to dive on the floor. You had to get in the rumble. Yeah.
Right.
Real shit.
Right.
You had, man, it was men leading men. Yeah, ain't none of these niggas been in no lockout. And Anthony Edwards don't know what's going on with the league policy. This, bro, you understand what I'm talking about? The leader, bro. Man, I can't even have this conversation.
You can't even say it if you ain't watched.
It ain't the same. It ain't the same.
Like,
then
don't
you say I didn't
that,
watch.
and don't say you didn't watch.
Man, Jordan, the only one has skill. Yeah, I know you didn't watch the game.
I know you
But him
didn't
saying
watch.
that.
Yeah,
so,
you can't say that.
You know what?
And then
Respect
say
to
you
the
don't
young
watch.
fella, man. I don't get on here, and we don't use this platform to douse anything. But I'm not gonna start the cooning. I'm here to elevate the game. I'm here to help the young players elevate themselves. But it's always different eras. And when you hear Michael Jordan and some of the greats talk about the different eras of play, the 80s was different from the 70s, the 70s was different from the 60s, the 60s was different from the 50s. But in all of it, it had gamemanship, it had aggressiveness, and it had stuff that came with it that you didn't really hear about that you hear now. Man, shit.
Yeah.
Half these motherfuckers can't even be in the locker room. Half these niggas coming from no parents and one mom and all, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these niggas got their mom and dad and a lot of these niggas ain't even outside, my nigga. Man, I'm really from the park, man. I'm really from Basswood. I really did play at Springfield Park. You know what I'm saying? Cleveland Park, all the parks.
Right.
I really was at Argyle.
Right.
I really was on 16th. I really was hanging out on Ridgeway. Like, I'm saying that to say that, yeah. Like, man, it was different times. So when I hear these things, they don't add up because it was a different time of how you played, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then there was a lot of two-way players back then that was real niggas. I'm talking about stars. I'm talking about Gary Payton, the Jason Kidds, the Michael Jordans, the Grant Hills, the McGrady's and the Cobes, you know what I'm saying? The TDs, the C. Webbs, the Rasheeds,
He must have been talking about like the 60s or something.
Lord, he feeling himself, and I like that. I like that he feels good, but when you're a savant and you talking to the league and you spitting different shit, you gotta know what you're talking about to be in the argument or to be in the discussion of what we're talking about.
Right.
But to say that they're most skilled, shit, 20 years, you couldn't get to a triple step back. All that shit, James Harden and all that shit. And then too, if you was dribbling the air of the ball, bro, nigga told you straight up, hey man,
come on, man.
Swing it, man. What you doing?
What you doing?
Five more dribbles, you out here. Hold on, I got it. Back it up.
Don't miss.
And then we had plays that you had to remember. And if you couldn't remember the plays, you couldn't be out here. It wasn't all this switching shit. You had actually strategy to where the strategy had to go to 2, 5, 2 and 4, y'all 3 and 4, y'all doing this. You had a list of shit that you had to be responsible for.
Sure that.
Not some, I didn't forget it. And you know what? Fuck it, just throw him out there because he's good. Nah, bro, it's a whole nother level of shit. So, know what you're speaking about. But yeah, I'll root for you, young fella. Just know what you're talking about, young fella. Because that you said don't make no sense.